Hello everyone, Priest Nation here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be showcasing you the updated post banlist Maliss. I noticed within the Maliss group chat, Maliss Discord, and amongst people talking about Maliss online and doing deck profiles post um, banlist, or even post dude that is no one has an idea of how to play Maliss right now. And I'm here to show you the list and to kind of go over things. There are things I do have to edit in the side deck because evenly matched is like a god card against every deck in the format minus Maliss. Um, but I'll show you. And if you're thinking about taking Lancey out of your side decks, you might want to rethink your decision because it it's not a good idea. Because this deck will completely just tear you apart. And it is going first. It is extremely well going first. Going second is where it kind of struggles. But that's with any Maliss build you go with. So let me get the deck pulled up here so I can talk about it. So here you go. So this is what we came up with. As you can see, I do need to edit the sideboard because I do run Lancias myself. I think these are necessary for if someone's on Lancia. The Iron Thunders for going first. I don't know if they're completely necessary. But definitely if it, this is just in here. I just threw that in there just a minute ago. So let me go ahead and we'll take this out. We will take Rivalry out. And we'll cut Lancia down to 2 because most of the time I'm only going to be on 2 anyway. Then we're just going to add evenly matched. Now there are some people that say, well, you could just play Droplet. I don't think so. You kind of want to have this card, by the way. So that's why I'm playing it at 3. And I'll kind of explain that as I played a lot into this format and I understand what decks are good and what cards are good against certain decks. And just an overall vast majority that if you drop evenly matched on somebody, they really don't have an out to it. All Yummy has is Herald of the Arclight, and if you walk in, you drop the Imperm on the Arclight, it either has to negate it or it just auto loses. For us, Herald isn't that big of a deal because technically we don't really need cards. Any card that would activate in the hand to do something is going to banish something anyway. So that doesn't matter. And cards that are in our hands, we're trying to get banished anyway. Even if if I sent like a dot scaper off of a droplet against Arclight, which you cannot do by the way, it would be fine. Or if I did it off of a Maliss name, that would be fine. But again, that's not something you can do legally. So when we talk about legally, we talk about the obstacles that this deck does have to face, which is Lancia. How popular is Lancia right now? I'll tell you right now, Lancia is not that popular. I faced a lot of people on Omega, and no one's prepared for it. I think I saw Lancia like twice yesterday, and that was it. I only seen it twice. I played 24 games. It's just no one's on, no one's playing it. It's just what the deck can do. Going first and going second is insane. Going second, if you manage to resolve Fua, that's a wrap. Going first, I did have a guy. I will show you the game while we're on here. That way, you guys don't think I'm full of crap on my testing. But here you go. So this is it. So I'll sit back and let you all. I go a weird line because I messed with PSP a little lot, but I was able to do it just fine. But as you all can see, like I know combos very well, especially when it comes to Maliss. I've done it for a long time. There it is. So, as you saw there, I'll go ahead and show you the field. Um, and again, this was just somebody that was testing Gym Mats against me, which is fine. You can see he's playing like basically all the tournaments. Um, and he just drew the meows. But he's also playing Perulia too. That's the one thing you don't see. Is we're gonna go ahead and like check the field here. I have GWC06. Um, specifically because I know that if he board wipes, I'm gonna need a follow-up card, which would be GWC. Now he was trying to bait the ally code with the droplet. That's why I wasn't doing it first, because you want to save ally code for if the a possibility of them having evenly. But if he commits to the board, which he did with the flag, I don't have to worry about that because he's committed at this point. But I also had Malice in the Mirror because I know the combo. I know that if I open Malice in Underground, or if I have TB11 with the Red Ransom on the board, I know that one Red Ransom is going to resolve. It's going to go grab Malice in the Mirror no matter what. It doesn't matter what to do, because TB will banish it for cost, and it'll come back, and it'll banish another one from deck, which is fine. And then you can just keep doing what you're doing, and you'll be able to get there. Again, I'm very new to March Hare, but I'm not new to Malice combo. If that makes sense. I played Malice for a bunch of formats. I even played it in the side events at the Providence YCS. Um, and I just did really well with it, even though I didn't have March Hare, but I had the mathematics stuff to go along with it. And I was also playing Sonnet Mining back then, which I was playing Sonnet Mining until recently, and then I switched it for Template Skipper. So allow me to explain Template Skipper. Why is it here? Why is it good? What really does it accomplish? Okay, so the old way we used to play the deck is this was in place of, again, Sonnet Mining, so you could get to the mathematic part of the engine. The mathematic part of the engine was a big part of the engine, and it was a big driving force. And also, I'm going to mention dot skippers back. I'll explain it. There's a good reason for it. It is not just here to be a brick in your hand, you consistently to draw it, and it's not really a problem because we have so many extenders that we can just fix that problem. So the mathematic engine serves to get to either Wicked, or it serves to get to Code Talker Inverted. If we go for Code Talker Inverted, you can spell summon any Cyberse monster from hand. So if you have a Malice name in hand, or if you have any of these cards, you will be able to special them out straight from the hand. These two, you can typically special them out for free. They're basically just free extenders every turn. If it's better if you have circular, I will say, because it nets you 2 bodies instead of 1. But if you have this, don't worry, you can still specialist from your hand. It's not a brick. So they're just free extenders. They just work because they can. There are ways to bridge into the Malice side of the deck, which I think Thornmouse being at 1 is more of a blessing than it is a curse, because you can go Cyberse Wicked, summon Template Skipper, which is normally how the combo goes. Let's say you don't have any Malice names. Like, oh, I can't play because I don't have any Malice names. That's fine. You don't need them. So you summon this to a zone that Wicked points to. Wicked will activate, banish like one of the mathematic names from graveyard, or whatever have you, whatever name you have in graveyard. Let's say even like you had like this, which it would never be this. It would probably be this. But again, these are just examples. Or if you have this, you can banish a Malice name and then it comes back. It's fine. But it can search any tuner. So when you get to this can bridge you to any Malice name. Again, it'll banish one, add a tuner. So let's say you have this and you're like, oh man, I just need another card. You can just search Sigma. It's just good. That's just what it does. And it's a really good card. And paired up together, all the cards just work together very well. You've also got your consistency cards, so we still got Gold Sark, Terraforming, and then you got do double Malice and Underground, and you got one Malice in the Mirror. I tinkered with this card a little bit, didn't know much about it. The Spanish effect, I still don't really recognize the combo for it yet, but again, I'm working to get there. If that is something that is a priority in the future, I will look for um, you know, cards that can work with Malice in the Mirror very, very well. I don't think I need to because to me, when I look at this deck, there's enough consistency to play the entire deck. Yes, we are on all three traps. I was a strong believer that you needed TB11 last format, and I believe you need it even more so now because the card just bridges into so many different ways, and it's your auto out if they try to nib you early as well, and you're trying to, prolong your combo. You can just banish the red ransom, and then do more. If they try to hit you early, you will be able to beat them because you will have a lot of momentum. Because let's say they nib you and they give you the token, you can just link it off with Link Spider, and then if you have Cybers or backup Adagnister, or you have your template skipper, you're just gonna go crazy because they're not gonna be able to stop it. And then let's say you have like circular, which you typically do circular like first action, unless if like you have one of the traps and you think you can get around something. But you can just again do mathematics stuff and be able to get there just fine. So there's not a lot of things in this deck that lock you now, because one of the biggest things it did was Splash Mage. Splash Mage is gone. The only thing in this deck that locks you is in fact the transcode talker. So like you're basically just free to roam. As you see, we're playing two SP Little Knights in place of the Splash Mage. I believe SP is a lot better than going into Hazard Lizardos, even though it is not a Cyberse. It is a lot better than Hazard Lizardos in some cases. If you're trying to get a draw, not a draw, I understand that whole thing, but most of the time with Lizardos, you're just trying to get that Malice name banished. So we still do play it because I do think that you need three that can just overall extend you. And sometimes you could go the SP line and end up into an Imperm and they have no monsters, and then you're just whatever. Um, Now there are times where you overextend and you have another body on board. They go Imperm and you can chain SP and you can banish itself and that other monster, and then you can just resolve that Malice name. And typically, if that's a Dormouse or a White Rabbit, you're just going to be able to go all in. Because what happens is if, let's say, you resolve the SP and it is a White Rabbit, you banish your White Rabbit effect. You're able to set one of these. So the one, if I was in people's shoes that I'd be setting would be, your TB11. You go TB11, you banish your White Rabbit, which is like an ungodly sin, to summon like your Dormouse, like off Dormouse, and then use one of your mini extenders to extend through to be able to get back into that Dormouse. That's why I said that's why I think you need to play like more than one way to banish monsters. You need exactly three, but you need the best one, which is SP Little Knight, and you'll need one that is not. So that's that's currently where I am with that. These are just my thoughts and reasonings on cards that I'm playing and why I'm playing them. Link Disciple. It took me a while to be like, okay, yeah, I see the implication for this card. But you have to play cards that are like pseudo bricks that you don't care to put back, or if you have too many cards or two of a card, you really don't care to put it back. So that's another thing too. Is like you don't have to resolve this effect. Like any of the time or even part of the time. It's just something that you're gonna have to do going forward. This is like one of your slots you're just gonna have to dedicate to Link Disciple because of what it does. And if you're going to play the Dotscaper like I do, and like I said, I've had a love-hate relationship with Dotscaper, but now that we are doing combos that revolve around a card that has the ability to put them back, I'm pretty okay with it. And we have like a ton of extenders. We can just extend into it and just be fine. You know, Yeah, especially with red ransom just being able to banish any name. So like you don't even have to do this. This is like one of if you like to do it, but like you don't need to get every single Maliss name into rotation. The only three you need in rotation is Dormouse, White Rabbit, and March Hare. And realistically, on your turn one, you don't have to have March Hare. You just have to have this when you're going into your opponent's turn. So on your opponent's turn, you're gonna need NTB07, which is the one that adds one and the one that banishes. So it'll banish any card and it will add your March Hare. If they interact with that with an Ash Blossom, that is like whatever. Nobody really cares. But I do think you need GWC06, which is, if you saw my combo, which was one of the pieces I actually set, because it is very important to set this card. It is so good. There's not really a whole lot anybody can do about GWC06, because if they try to like bail the GWC06 or they try to bail March here, you do have a backup plan. Or if they just walk in with a straight duster and you're not wanting to use UFC06, you again then have the March here. Because when you go into your inboard, you're gonna look again like you saw in my last one. I had Ally Code Talker, I had Red Ransom, and I had White Binder. I had both of them. They were both summoned, and then once he played into the board a little bit, and I could see that he had Nemesis Flag, I was able to go Malice in the Mirror, get one of them, because you tribute one in the combo anyway. The other one you're going to hit off of the Malice in the Mirror. So they're eventually going to try to play into the board, and when they do, you can beat them that way. If they have a singular evenly matched going into a Malice board, you're not going to beat it that way. But there are implications that you will be able to beat it if you have two. Now, if I end with like Lingeribo on my board, you're not going to be resolving your evenly. Most people try to rush into battle to get through Lingeribo to be able to get off their cards, but again, I have like two really good ways to get through it. I don't go into Lingeribo as often as people think. This is just like a sort of like a backup plan for the evenly. That's really the only reason I go into it. And sometimes I'll throw it up on an inboard just so I know I can out that evenly match. And this card's actually kind of good because let's say you have this and you go to summon one of your mouse names and they go to Impulse or you go to Purge like your your 07 rather. You can just straight up negate it, which is fine. I wouldn't care for doing that to be able to prolong my combos anyway. Now the question is, will we ever want to play two of them? And that again, that's a very valuable question. But if you can read Lingeribo here, oh god, hold on, I gotta go out the way y'all can see it. Boop. Oh my god, I lost my card. Hold on. I'll put it back in. So it says if this card's in graveyard, you can tribute one adding this to monsters plus something extra decks plus some this card. So if they go into battle, you're able to out the first one. You can then chain the Lingeribo to tribute ally code to summon itself, and then you can get the second one. So again, I was just showing you that it is a really good card, and just because this is an Agnister, it's just so stupid. But as you can see, there are ways to play around things. I just kind of wanted to bring that point up because again, that's just a really good point to have. Is even if you use this through your combo, you still have ally code. And this isn't like a soft once per turn; it is a hard once per turn in both effects. So, it's just really good for that. Again, like Malice, you shouldn't be trying to going into a Malice board with evenly matched. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. It's a really bad idea because if you have a pilot as good as me, it's not gonna work. You're gonna be up quick without paddle, and you know if you're trying to like purge your way after the ally code is activated, you're just gonna be in a really bad spot because I'm just gonna bring this out, um, which does happen a lot. And most people don't know the secondary effect on this card, believe it or not. They have no idea. Um, but again, the only viable target we have for it is the a code talker Agnister. That's really the only one we have. So we could play more, but we're not going to. Some people thought we was gonna play the Agnister Link 5, the towers. I'm not playing that. No, there's no point. The deck operates as good as it ever does, like this. One thing you can do is you could pitch like Ash Blossoms during your main combo, which is typically what you want to do if you're going first. I thought about siding Bell because Bell's really good against like the Draco Tail cards. But realistically, if I just if I Ash the Flame, I don't really have to worry about anything else that they're doing. Most of the time, I don't even have to worry about Flame because the only thing they're going to Flame anyway would be the Malice and Underground. And again, Lingaribo just checks that whole thing. So realistically, if you can just Ash the Horn and play into the board with Lingaribo, they have to attempt to negate with Flame, and then you can just Lingaribo it. It doesn't matter. So it is very easy to play through the boards that they're going to be able to put up on you. Plus, your Firewall's going to be able to add back your Ash Blossom. Or if you make Firewall and you want to end on Firewall, you can bounce whatever cards they have in hand or graveyard. So even against Yummy, you can bounce their cards back to hand, which is broken. But also, you're going to have the Banish, you're going to build a Banish card, and then you're going to have the ally code as an Omni. You're going to have this in your graveyard to be able to negate a trap, which most of the time won't happen. But they do play Purge and they do play Psalms sometimes. Their space is getting really tight, so it's going to be Purge that you're going to be wanting to out because they're going to try to purge your MTB07, which is going to happen, which might burn up your Agnister card. So then you probably might have to tag out into Lingaribo. It depends if they declare battle. If they declare battle, you switch out into this. Because you don't really care about this. Let me be honest, this really doesn't do anything beyond that. Like, you can attribute a Link monster's card points to engage activation. Once per turn, yeah, it's an Omni. You can just keep doing it. But the thing is it special summons, and it only gains 500 for those. It doesn't provide a real good OTK tool. If you can just use a Lingaribo and basically keep them from playing the game, they're not going to be able to beat this. This is impossible. Because the minute you go into your access code talker, you banish Harsh Cryptor, it's over. On the spot. Because if you let's say you have GWC, you enter battle because these traps are just active as soon as you go, and you have, let's say, like White Binder, your Red Ransom, you end the board on them or whatever. You can then just activate this in battle, activate White Binder on summon, banish 1, 2, 3, and then just summon them all back. Like, and then they can't do anything; you just lose. So, there's little things like that you can do. What you cannot do, you cannot activate this in the battle pit. So don't even try. Read the card. I had somebody try to do it to me yesterday at locals, and I was like, no, you can't do that. I know how that card works. It's during the main only. You'll find a lot of Maliss players won't really know how to play the deck. They claim they do, and they say they're as good as they do, but they really don't. So what makes Template Skipper one of the best Maliss cards overall to play in the deck, period, is this card specials to a zone a link monster points to. So when you go in your combo and you make your Lingaribo, you make your Disciple, it'll summon to the left zone of Lingaribo's arrow, and it will point straight down to Disciples. It will summon to those zones. What is cool is if you have something like this, or you had to normal summon this to get to a name, you are able to play through them because its effect. And you can do, they have to have 2 targeting effects to stop it. So you have to target this to stop it. If say the imperm this, I link it off with the Lingeribo or the Disciple, whichever one you want to do. It doesn't matter. Disciple's technically a little bit better because it gives you the draw, but this is better because if they have an imperm, they cannot use it. It is useless. So you could go for this and then summon Template Skipper to the zone it points to. You can then activate Template Skipper if you have a Maliss name in hand, or if you have one in the graveyard, and you can banish that name, and then the Maliss name will trigger and summon back, and there's your 3. You can do it that way. Another way you could do it is if you summon the Template Skipper, and you've got that Maliss name jammed in hand, and you're just trying to, see what you can do. Most of the time you will not normal this. I'm just going to tell you that first and foremost. More than likely it's a Maliss name. But there are times where you do have to normal this. And you get to your Maliss name, and you just literally cannot get them. You cannot do a normal summon of a Maliss name at that point. That's why you play Kotaku Inverted, so you can get that Maliss name out of your hand without a normal. And then you can just play through them like that. That's another way to do it too. Again, that's 2 of the best reasons why you're going to play Template Skipper. That and it's the Cybers. The level 1 Dark. This can search it. It is a really good extender. It is really hard to beat. Plus, whatever it banishes, it becomes that name. So if you banish Dormouse, this is now your Dormouse. And you can make your Maliss links with it. It's not like a Bestial to where you're a Bestial and you cannot go into your Splash Mage because it's Cybers only. Because as you see, we don't have very many. Kotaku Inverted is one of them, and the other one would be your Wicked that requires 2 Cybers. There are people that are playing Bestials right now. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, there are better ways to do things, and if there is a better way to do something, we need to do that better route. Especially with, playing all 3 traps and playing your Template Skipper. Template Skipper was a last minute add. I cut it for the Sign-Up Mining, because Sign-Up Mining plays in the draw. It could disclog if I have Dotscaper, or if I have some of my bricks, like let's say I draw like 2 Impulse, or I draw 2 Ash Blossom. It could declog the hand, essentially. But you don't really have to do that. It's not necessary. Or if you draw more than 1 Maliss name, you can put 1 back. Most of the time, drawing 2 Maliss names is never bad. Because with them limited the way they are, the only thing I've ever done is drawn 2 Jesse Cat in a row. Or 2 March Hare. If you draw 2 March Hare, it's fine. You can just put 1 back with, again, the Link Disciple, so it's fine. It's whatever. It doesn't really matter. But again, like I said, I'm just explaining some of the reasoning. Yes, I cut down the non-engine to what would be exactly 12 cards. Because some of the Maliss cards do activate as hand traps on their own. But not always will they do that. So, and not only do we use them as, hand traps, but they are very good in doing what they do, and they've always been good for doing what they do, the way that they do it. So, 2, Wizard at Ignister. This is one that a lot of people get confused on. So, why exactly are we on 2? I'll show you. Alright. It says, if you control a Cybers monster special from the extra deck, which is how you get this out 90% of the time, you'll get it off of your Agnister monster. Plus, if you have any Maliss name, they imperm the Maliss name, you can play through them with this. It is a outright good extender. It can bring back the Template Skipper if you need it to. It can bring back your Agnister chick if you need it. Can bring back any Maliss name. What it cannot bring back is your cards. So the only thing that bothers is the 2 Mathmech cards you play in the entire deck, and that's about it. So you can target 1 Dark Cybers monster spell summon it. And this card, both in defense, cannot spell summon except Cybers. So this card will Cybers lock you, the same as the other Agnes or Chick will. The way this card is good is you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 monster your opponent controls, change its battle position. Most people think that does not come up, and it does. No one remembers this, by the way. Nobody. That's one of the reasons why we're playing it too. Just to show you. Actually, she don't. I'm an idiot. I thought she did. She doesn't. Okay, so you got 2 major locks in this deck, as far as I know, because I don't think Wicked does it. Let me make sure. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Not that it matters, because obviously you can see I'm playing all Cybers, so. Besides Lizard Dose and a few others. Yeah. I didn't know that about him. Like I said, I'm new to the whole adding extra stuff. I just generically thought they both locked you. And I just assumed that from the word go. So that they don't, that's kind of cool. But I don't think the Mathmech cards lock. I'll make sure before I go any further. It does not. But Sigma does. I knew one of them did. I just wasn't for sure if it was Sigma or not. But anyway, I digress. Very good. So the circular line, if you go Sigma, will lock you in the Cybers, which again is not a problem because we always go in the Cybers looking for it. So, or we always go into the Kotak converted. So, those are why those cards are in there, and that's specifically why they're in there. I guess I should have started with the locks. So you have those that lock. I think maybe this guy locks. Yeah, special. Maybe he doesn't. I have them in front of me. I can just read them. I know y'all may not be able to see them, but I'll pull up here so I can at least see the card that I'm reading. Yeah, it can only be treated as a name if it's treated as link material. Doesn't lock. All mouse names lock in the links. Double check on circular. Also, if you use let's say you use Mathmech Circular going second, you can only attack with 1 monster for the rest of the turn. I wouldn't do that going second, unless if I just needed more bodies and I just needed a way to clear boards. Again, this is something I gotta do here. I think he locks an extra deck, which is the only thing that's relevant to me. Yeah, so Sigma is the only important one. So I knew about him. I'm just trying to make sure that I played the deck absolutely correctly after bashing people about not playing it right, because I didn't know about Wizard. But I've been playing on Omega, so everything I've done is absolutely correct. I know transcode, it locks you. Yeah, you cannot summon anything with Cyburst the turn you would use its effect. You don't have one. You don't lock. Yeah, okay. So those are the only ones. The only cards we need to be concerned about is Wizard, Cyburst locks. For the rest of the turn, Sigma, which locks for the rest of the turn, and the only other one is Transcotaker, which locks the entire turn. And if you summon something that is not a Cyberse, you cannot use its effect, period. So, with that being said, pretty good. Pretty good. So, going into explanations a little bit further here. We're going to talk about ratios and why everything's basically maxed out and why we are playing again the map again. Because two cards seems a little extreme. What if you draw one and you don't have the other? It's absolutely fine because they all extend. So both of the mathematic names will extend, because to get Sigma to work, you only need a monster that's not in the extra monster zone to be able to summon it. Which again, it will Cyberse lock you as soon as you do this, which is fine. And again, we're only going to talk about the Cyberse lock in the extra deck because all main deck names we have that would be special summon are Cyberse. So that will not affect the damn thing. So the only cards that this does affect in the main deck are, starting from the top to the bottom, are SP Little Knights, or Hazard, Lizard Dose, and that is it. So 3 cards in the entire deck are affected. That's it. Because we're trying to play mostly Cyberse in this deck. And we're trying to play as low to the ground as possible, but also doing exactly what the deck wants to do. Plays through Lancia. Template Skipper helps a ton, because it's another free extender that just helps you get into an ally code talker. And let's say you're going through Lancia, you could still get to a Maliss in the Mirror, which is absolutely fine. Passing turn on like a Heart's Cryptor and your ally code talker or Agnister. I'll kind of run you through it and I'll kind of show you how it works. Let me see if I can get a good test tank here. Yeah, so perfect. This will work. Now this is exactly how it would be drawn up. Yeah, you can do this. They're gonna land you here. Or they're gonna do it in the draw phase, which is fine. You will set your into 7 because it'll be able to banish any name. You then turn this into your Revo. You can then activate special this. Go effect. Go grab. You could grab any of these. I would probably do backup, and then you discard your Fua. Activate, target, you still summon them both. And then you can go 1, 2, 3. Good. Effect. You could have linked this off because it doesn't really matter, but it kind of matters for like an inboard piece. And then you're gonna add Maliss in the Mirror. No. You'll summon this. You could go for White Binder here, but you wouldn't be able to go very much further. So what you can do is you can go for the other route, which is just make the ally code and get one back, and you would get another Omni, plus for whatever is tributed, you would be able to Maliss in the Mirror it, because the minute you tribute your Red Ransom, you're gonna go to this, which is gonna get you your March Hare. You're gonna get a banish. So you go this ally code. You go no. Comes back, and then you're gonna end on this. As you can see, we'll end phase. I'll kind of show you how it works going into the board. So again, you will see, because this guy is highlighting. So you will always have that evenly matched negate with this line too. So the normal we may not do, but we'll go ahead and we'll do this here. So now you will get your March Hare. And then we will banish the back row. Gonna go Banner of Courage. We're gonna go ahead and negate that with the ally code. And then on resolution, we can go effect of March Hare. And we will banish Red Ransom. And we'll summon this, and we'll go effect. We will banish the White Rabbit, and we will trigger the Red Ransom to add a spell, and chain link to the White Rabbit to summon itself and set. Set. We will do TB11 so we can finally get through our Dormouse. We'll say no. We look at it, okay, that's fine. We don't really care, we're in battle. We will now activate this, attribute this, so we have an outfit evenly matched. And if you had this, which you don't, and it's kind of irrelevant, you can do this, banish this, and you will be able to summon any of your Maliss names. So, you summon, let's say like whatever. Pick up the Dormouse, which is fun. And then you have everything for follow-up. Putting this, you can switch them. It doesn't really matter. You can do it however you want, but yeah, that's just an example of if they Lancia you, you do have more things that you can do. It's not like the end of the world. And realistically, right now, nobody's really playing Lancia for Maliss, which is kind of crazy because the deck is still 100% playable, and there's a lot of ways in the Maliss deck to be able to play the game, which is why I don't think a Dormouse limit one will stick because they'll bring it back probably next banlist. And why I think that this is probably how you got to play Maliss going forward. I don't think a bunch of board breakers into the format right now is going to do a whole lot, because if they go to tag out their yummy names and you have Impulse kind of just checks the whole deck, period, which is good and what you want to do. But also, it's just better than most cards you're gonna play regardless, because this whole deck just checks the entire format. Now, similar to how Mitz is doing now, so I still count Maliss to be the best deck in the room. There is no reason that it is not. Even with Lancia being as popular as it is, and a card that really should have got limited, I don't know why it didn't, because it was just shutting down the whole Lancia, the whole Maliss deck, period. Some people call it a necessary evil. It's not really a necessary evil. It's just a card that people's been allowed to play for so long. It's similar to Shifter and similar to Droll, to where if we take these cards out of the game gets a lot more complex and it gets a lot more skillful as well. So, that's basically all of my notes on, the Maliss, the new Maliss deck and how good it is. If you guys have anything that you want to ask or add to it, let me know. I'm currently the only one that is trying to play the deck that I've seen in a skillful fashion that does not require clogging it up with a million bestials or playing 15 or more non-engine, which I don't think you need to do with these new decks. I don't think that Yummy is impressive. Yummy has got nothing on Maliss. Maliss is like 10 times better. It was shown at the World Championship that Maliss was like one of the best decks. The only deck it lost to was a K9 VS player that literally set up a board that was impossible to get through with Dice Smasher and the Masquerade. So, I mean, you take it as it is. And also, he won with Lancia too. I'm just going to go ahead and note that. But, yeah, that's basically what it is. And, if y'all have, again, any questions on the deck, period, just let me know in the comments down below. I will try to get with you, and I'm currently going to start pushing this. And I'm going to get cards IRL and start doing combos with you. I have most of them. I'm missing like March Hares and the adding extra stuff. I'm also missing Impulse. I might do it without Impulse for now, but I was looking to pick one up recently, so I might have Impulse before then. I don't know, but I'll let you all know when the video comes out. But if you all again have any questions on this, or you all want to see like live gameplay, you could be in the Omega server today, and I'll be in there playing. I will also You can also drop by the YouTube channel as I'm going to try and stream it. It is kind of hard to stream it through YouTube service now, but I will try my best. If not, I will try to do it on Twitch. Either way, I will get you all content as soon as I possibly can. But without further ado, I'm Pierce Nation. Make sure you all like, subscribe, and comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Pierce Nation, out.